Hello everyone, so welcome back again to Straight Up Finance, and in this video we'll cover about pivot tables. So you must have heard a lot of times about what pivot tables are. So to describe what pivot tables are exactly, I would say that pivot table is a magical tool to create summaries. Using pivot tables, you can group your data, you can do totals, average, you can basically do a lot of operations on the data by summarizing them category wise. So you must have seen very long Excel sheets with hundreds of rows, thousands of rows, and many more than that. So using pivot tables, you can summarize them, you can filter out data, you can visualize data, you can make those that data set interactive, adding filters. So we'll just see how we go about it. So this is a data set I have in an Excel. You can see that we have a lot of rows here, and there is some data around the sales in a region of different kinds of products like tablets, monitors, or mobile phones. So the first step is how we create a pivot table. So for example, this is the data set, and I want to do some operations on this data set. I want to create a summary of this data set or do anything. So first of all, to add a pivot table, I'll select this whole data set. I'll press Control rightward with Shift to go towards the extreme right. Then just keep pressing on Control Shift, and if I press downward arrow, I'll be selecting the whole data set in this manner. So, and to insert a pivot table, you need to go to the Insert tab. I'm already here, this Insert tab. You see an option here as a pivot table, and you have to just click at this from table or range, because I've already selected the range, correct? You can also use a shortcut. You can select this data and you can just press Alt NVT. So the same drop box will open again, right? Now you can add this to the existing sheet as well and to the new sheet as well. So I'll just click OK here, and I will have something like this in a new sheet, right? So this is where my pivot table is going to be created, correct? So now you can see on the right that there are certain boxes, there are certain areas created. You can see filters here, columns, rows, and values. So what rows are? Rows is basically by which you will create a category. I told you that using pivot tables, we summarize data in terms of categories. So what our category is going to be is what we are going to put into the rows. So for example, I want to categorize my data in terms of region. So I'll pick region from here and I'll put it in the rows. Very simple as it, right? So you can see here, now my data has been categorized into the region. So there were 4 regions in our data set: east, west, north, and south in this column. And here I have got all those 4 regions. Then if we talk about columns, so columns are basically you can say they can be your subgroups. Basically what I want to see in my regions, right? So if I want to go further, create a subgroup within a region, I can add that thing in the column. For example, let's say I want to categorize my products in the regions as well. So I'll put those products in the region. So you can see now I have a laptop in east. So the data which will come here will be data pertaining to laptop and east. In this cell, it will be data pertaining to laptop and north. So columns are basically for subgroupings. Then there comes your values. So values is basically what is your actual calculation, what data you want to see. For example, I want to see units sold. So I'll just pick units sold from here and put it in the values. So here you can see that now I have the whole data for my all the regions and for all the subgroupings, my products as well. So for example, this cell is telling me how many units have been. So this is a sum. Yeah, we can also change it from here. Basically, if you want to do something else, you can do that as well. For example, if I go here and instead of units sold, I go to the revenue, or I go to the salesperson, right? So you can see that now it is automatically doing some intelligence and giving me a count of salesperson. So if you want to do, for example, you have some other data set wherein you can count that as well, or you can do some average as well. For example, if I remove salespersons from here and I'll add revenue in the values, so I can also do a sum. And if I go to the value field settings from here, you just have to click here, a left click, value field settings here, and you can see average, maximum. So if I click on average, it will do the average revenue for keyboard in the eastern zone. So it's a very good feature to have. Then we can also add filters. For example, if I remove products from here, if you have to remove it, you can simply just click and uncheck here. And I want to add my products in the filters. For example, I want to add it here. So you can see now, right now there has been a product cell and it is selected as all. So I can just left click it and click on keyboards and click on OK. So now it will show me the all the data for the keyboard in all these ones, right? So this is very easy and very basic. We can also add a slicer here. It is also very simple. I'll just show you. So slicer is, again, as we discussed earlier, that what the slicer enables is that slicers allows you to yeah, it allows you to make the data more interactive. You can filter the data interactively. So if I just click it back to sum, and we have to add a slicer, so we can just go to insert tab. No, we have to go to the, so now we are dealing in pivot table, so we'll go to this pivot table analyze tab, then we'll click on insert slicer, and I want to, let's add a slicer for products. So I'll just select it and click on OK. Something appears like this. Now it has become interactive. When I click on laptop, it will show me the data for laptops only. When I will click on tablet, it will show me the data for tablets. Monitor, it will show me the data for monitors, right? So this was the basics about pivot tables. I think it was very simple, and I hope everything was very clear up till now. So thank you so much for watching this video, and you can let me know for your any feedback in the comment section. Thank you.